All right, so I have to admit, I have to come clean. One of the people I've been most, I don't want to say fascinated with, because that would be giving the guy too much credit, intrigued by, let's put it that way, was this Michael Avenatti, a.k.a. the porn lawyer, during this whole Trump, Russia, Stormy Daniels thing, mess, national disgrace. Because remember, so you have Russia, the whole Russia thing here. And then orbiting around it, you had like the Stormy Daniels payoff, Michael Avenatti thing that just played into the whole Russia thing perfectly. Because if Trump is paying off porn stars, what else is he doing in his private life? And what else? That just shows the nature of the type of guy he is. So there must be something there with Russia if he's paying off porn stars. You know, that it just played into everything they were looking for perfectly. So Avenatti becomes this talking head on CNN. My God, he must have been on there 3 or 4 nights a week. And he has that brash, confident way about him. And you could tell they were infatuated. I was intrigued. They'll see an Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and the rest of them on there were just like, wow. And then it started to, little news stories started to sprinkle out in the media on how he was going to be the guy to take down Trump, either legally or in 2020, if Trump was running in 2020. Because remember, there was an alternative reality out there where Trump wasn't even going to be around in 2020. So Avenatti was going to take down uptight Christian weirdo Mike Pence and finally restore hope to the galaxy. So anyways, so like April 7th, 2018, LA Times. Trump meets his match, Stormy Daniels' combative lawyer Michael Avenatti. That's why I started calling him President-elect Michael Avenatti. A lot of people thought that was funny because, it was a shoo-in. He was going to take all these crooked, weird Republicans around the country, and he was just going to steamroll them with his bravado and confidence and be president of the United States. So, and it's amazing. And this also played into the Kavanaugh thing. Because if you remember, the Kavanaugh hearing is going smooth. Barbara Feinstein finds the letter that, she's had hidden in her desk for 2 months. We all know how this played out. And then the whole Blassie-Ford circus started. And finally, Chuck Grassley, to his credit, had lost it. Because Julie Swetnick, one of Avenatti's clients, remember, she started accusing Kavanaugh of molesting her or assaulting her. I believe she was the Kavanaugh and his friends putting roofies in the punch at the parties to get everybody, the Bill Cosby thing, where you get everybody all, and then all of a sudden you rape them. I'm not kidding. We'll Google it. And so there was some Avenatti tie to her. So Grassley, to his credit, says, remember that one day he went off and he said, this is crazy. We're like nominating confirming a Supreme Court justice, having the hearings on it, and it's all being, orchestrated. It's all being influenced by a porn lawyer. And of course, progressives being progressives go, oh, that's just so close-minded. Why does the fact that his client is a porn star have anything to do with it? What is this, the 1950s or something? But anyway, so this is one of those examples where normal freaking people, and I'm going to use the word normal, and I don't care who it offends, are sitting back going, this is nuts. Some lady with a porn star lawyer who represents porn stars is making up stories while we're trying to nominate a Supreme Court justice. And Dianne Feinstein's had a letter in her desk, and then you got Cory Booker, who has sexually assaulted people in high school, or some chick in high school he admits to. Blumenthal lied about Vietnam. I can go down the whole list. Feinstein had a Chinese spy working for it. Her husband's made millions off Pentagon contracts. Then they're being fed new ammo against Kavanaugh through a porn lawyer. So it's one of those classic examples where middle America, the average person who they despise secretly, is going, this is insane. And then you're called closed-minded and you're not into how things work now, blah, blah, blah. And you just sit back. 6 months go by, a year goes by, and all of a sudden, President-elect Avenatti, he is in so much trouble. I mean, there's the assault thing on his ex-girlfriend, and there's the Nike problem. But what I'm amazed about more than anything else, I was reading about last night, I tried to dig up the article, but I can't find it, is his tax problems are insane. I mean, he could go to prison for life on his tax problems. I read in I think it was the Washington Post last night, the guy had $18 million going through his bank accounts for his law firm. And I think they haven't filed a tax return in the last 10 years. I've never even heard of anything this bad before. Most people, with their tax sheets, they at least filed a form for their business, even if the form might have exaggerated expenses or they do some cash work on the side that never makes the form. But he hasn't even filed a tax return for his law firm in like 10 years. And then he owns some coffee place, and he wasn't even sending in the employees' payroll taxes that worked at this coffee shop chain that he bought or was a partner in. He was holding on to all that too. He had like $100,000 a month condo on the ocean, and the Porsche lease payments. It went through the whole deal. It's nuts. I mean, as it all unfolds, now Trump is innocent, and this guy who's going to be president in 2020. You just asked the group on CNN, maybe MSNBC, but CNN, they were into this guy hook, line, and sinker. He was going to teach not just Trump and Pence, but all the stiff white Republicans around the country. He was going to bring in a new age to teach them a lesson. And I mean, it's a freaking train wreck beyond, proportions. And it's a classic example, too, of someone with no conscience. You look at the stuff he's done, and people buy into that. Yeah, it's not hard to have confidence and bravado and whatever when you absolutely have complete disregard for other human beings and all the rules in the world. It's really not that hard to come off as full of bravado and confidence that everybody's looking for to finally defeat Trump.